Hey, how are you all? Good afternoon. Welcome to Integrative Preparedness. I want to talk to you about something that's disturbing. I've been out back, uh, getting some of the planting beds ready and raking and burning. Matter of fact, I'm burning 3 year ago wood. Get rid of that because I got to take down a couple of trees, and we'll cycle that in. One's all the way dead, one's halfway dead, but I need to get rid of the wood that I've had stocked up since 3 years ago to make room for it. So I'm out here burning. So if you feel a little heat on your backside, that's because the fire is right behind you. Okay. Back behind me also is a bunch of elderberry. I got to tear out half of it because it's gone. We have other elderberry on other parts of the yard, and boy, the apple trees are blooming, the plum trees are blooming. I pretty much got rid of most of my peach trees. Going to start over with those. Peaches are really iffy around this area. Some years you just get it really big, and I don't like to spray my stuff with chemicals because I don't like to eat chemicals, right? So I know you can spray them with that stuff. I don't like to do that. But anyway, everything's looking real good, and there's not much I enjoy more than sitting around watching a fire and occasionally carrying another log or a bunch of splits to it and having a beer. I only drink beer sometimes. Well, I drink beer when I want to drink beer, right? So if you like to drink beer, go get you one if you're old enough. But it's hot, and yes, it's time to get out the straw because the sun's beating upon me pate. Y'all see The Quiet Man? You ever watch that movie? Yeah. Well, I was watching while I was out here, and I'm preparing new areas for new blackberry starts and a whole bunch of other stuff. Anyway, so I was listening to a couple of videos, and I put up one this morning that kind of showed my displeasure with the message that's put out there on a lot of so-called preparedness channels. And I don't care. I don't do it to hurt anybody's feelings or to offend anybody, but I don't consider myself a part of the preparedness mafia, and I don't necessarily say the same things that a lot of people do. That's because I have a lot more experience than most of them do. I know that came off as sounding, but hey, been at this for 50 years, okay? And so a lot of times they will say things, and I'm just going to have to say, no, I disagree with that. And if it gets to the point to where I think that it's leading people down the wrong road, I'm going to say something about it. Okay, I'm just going to do it. So anyway, I was listening to a couple, and I was listening to one, and I was going along. It's a channel that I occasionally watch. A very nice person. Seems like a very nice person. Hard worker. Has a homestead. And at first I was going right along with the message. I was saying, and it was about basically, if you rely on other people, pretty soon those people are going to cut you off. And how often have I said that? It's up to you. It's your responsibility to take care of yourself. Preparedness is responsibility. It's the ultimate responsibility. It's the ultimate responsibility. And so I was going right on that. I was agreeing with that. Yeah, you bet. Excuse me. I drink Yingling. You all drink Yingling? You know Yingling, the oldest American brewery, up in Pennsylvania somewhere. Did you all know that you shouldn't wear sunglasses, by the way? It keeps the light from getting in your eyes, and it's unhealthy. Anyway, I used to wear sunglasses all the time, but I discovered that. Aren't you glad you dialed in for that? Well, this video that I was watching, that I agreed with, I said, yep. Of course, I like to watch things that I agree with. Don't we all, right? It's like somebody telling you you're right. Yep. But then it took a turn, and it went down the road that I've talked about so many times, and that is times are hard, times are tough. We're in a recession, we're in a depression. If anybody tells you different, they don't know what they're talking about. Well, I might turn that one around, but like I say, if you're in a recession or a depression, millions of people aren't. So ask yourself, what's the difference? Okay, why are you and other people aren't? Simple as that. And that comes back to personal responsibility. But from there it went to, we're kind of all in this together, and the price of this and the price of that. And then it got to the point where, the egg lady down the road, if she has to charge you $5 a dozen, if you tried to talk her down, well, you're taking advantage of her. And I said, what? I'm sorry, what? And I have heard this from many people over the years, not from successful people, I'll be wrong, that, well, I can't make a living. If you can't, if it costs you too much to buy the chicken feed or the cow feed or the pig feed or anything like this, I can't make a living at it. Well, okay, there's been a lot of people that got to the point where they couldn't make a living at what they were doing, and what they had to do, they had to change how they made a living. Simple as that. I know that it's bad when you get to people who, the family farm or the farm that you're trying to make work and everything like that. It's really bad. But I've had businesses that after a while, and for a while they were successful, and then the market changed and they become not successful. I didn't sit there and say, well, people who won't come in and pay me what I want for my service are taking advantage of it. No, because that's not how life is. And that is the total opposite of personal responsibility. No, I changed businesses. Some businesses I sold, some I just closed down and went on and did something else. That's the way of life. But when I heard this message that if you try to talk somebody down for their eggs, you're taking advantage of them, that is disturbing. That is disturbing. That is actually a message that somebody thinks that way. You see, here's the problem. After I take another drink. Case of Yingling went up a couple of bucks. Did I say that they were taking advantage of me? No. You know what I say? That's the cost of business, and if I want it, I'll buy it. And if I don't want it, I won't buy it. And if I want the egg lady's eggs, and she's charging $5, I have a choice to buy them or not. Or I also have the choice. See, this is business, and this is what a lot of people don't understand. And that's why I think a lot of people have a hard time understanding my messages. This is business. You don't pay more than you have to for anything, and you always try to get a deal. You ever gone out and bought a car or a truck? Did you just give them whatever they asked? No. You tried to get a better deal, right? Were you taking advantage of them? No. You were trying to get a good deal. No more than you're taking advantage of the egg lady for asking her to give you a better deal. Now, you have a choice to buy them, not buy them, or if she'll give you a better deal, to buy them at the better deal. But she has a choice too. See? And she has to take a responsibility for her choice, and that choice is to sell them to you at the price that you're willing to pay, or not. That's business. That's what supports people and families. Whether it's a farm, a family business, or anything else. You don't build it by running at a loss, number one. Okay, you'll go broke. And if the egg lady can't sell her eggs, she's got a choice to lower the price or stop selling eggs. Okay? And if there's no market for eggs, she can get rid of her chickens, whatever. All those choices come into play. But nobody is taking advantage of the egg lady because they try to get a better deal. Okay? I just had to say that, because in an area like preparedness, where so many people try to act as if they are so personally responsible and self-sufficient, right? I'm an individualist. I'm the rough and tough. I'm the pioneer. I'm the this or that. I've really, I'll be honest, I've never seen so much whining in my life. Now, when I come on here, and I'm sure that I've ticked off a whole lot of people, that's all right. Maybe I've helped a few of you. In which case, you're the ones that I'm talking to. I'm trying to help you. The ones who won't listen can't be helped. They're not going to change the way they think. They're going to continue to feel that they are, victims, that life is hard, that they're in a recession, they're in a depression, and there's nothing they can do about it. Now, you might be in a recession, you might be in a depression, regardless of whether the rest of the country or the world is in one. But whether you are or not is as I've said before, as I said on one this morning, it's the result of the decisions you've made. And I know this is Uncle Steve giving his, tough love, but that's the way it is. It's the way I talk to my kids. It's the way I talk to people who come to me for help. When people come to me for advice, I'm not uncaring. I want them to do better. But I'm not going to sing them a sad song that, it's not their fault. And they don't have any choice. And the world needs to give you a better break. And you see, that's what the funny thing about that message that I was talking about was that at first off, it's about the world being in a recession, depression. You got to get ready. But then the other, see, that same standard isn't being applied to the egg lady. Do you see what I mean? Egg lady needs to get herself squared away too. Now, if she's paying too much for chicken feed, well, that's a choice she's going to have to make. We raised a chicken. My grandfather. I never raised chickens. I've stood out on the back of a pickup truck, shucking corn to all the chickens when I was 8 years old. But that doesn't make me a chicken expert, and I don't claim to be one. But I do know this: that my grandparents had a big hen house and had a lot of eggs, had a lot of chickens, and they didn't spend a lot on feed. Chickens will get out there and eat stuff. It's kind of the same way that I saw. There was a scene in Yellowstone where I forget what it was. John Dutton, Kevin Costner, he's out there and he's talking to his son about, my dad, he just raised cattle and never paid vet fees and never did this and never did that. And, so when he sold a cow for, $600 or whatever, well, he pretty much made $600 because that cow had been eating grass and, some hay in the wintertime. But nowadays you got vet bills, you got special stuff, you got hormones, you got antibiotics, you got all, that's a choice. My family never shot up our cattle with all that stuff. They went out there, they ate grass, and then in the wintertime they ate hay. And of course, they didn't fatten them up with grain, and that's what a lot of people do nowadays to get as many pounds on those cows as they can, right? Well, you see, that's a choice. That's a choice. So if the egg lady, just thinks that she has to sell her eggs for $5 a dozen for whatever, because of all the expenses that she has and chicken feed's going up. Remember the old saying, that ain't chicken feed? Well, I guess chicken feed is more than chicken feed now, right? But then she has to make a decision. It's her decision to make. And there's nothing wrong with trying to get eggs for $3 if she's trying to sell them for $5. Yeah, maybe you meet at $4. But see, the other way around is treating that egg lady it's essentially a communist idea. You got to give people what they need to survive. No. A person needs to do what they need to survive. You don't need to give them what they need to survive just because they say that's what they need, okay? Good to help people. You want to help somebody? Somebody's having a hard time. You can give them $5 a dozen for eggs. Do it. Good. But not just because they say so, and trying to get a better deal. Trying to get a better deal on your Silverado is not taking advantage of the dealer, is it? Neither is trying to get eggs at a better deal from the egg lady. I had to say that. I just rolled. I just shook my head at that. Unbelievable. Guys, preparedness, like I said before, is responsibility. It's your responsibility. It's the ultimate responsibility and the ultimate irresponsibility. And I'm out here burning wood, so I don't have my books to show you. I do have my beer to show you. But that whole book is about responsibility. It's a whole book on how people, a family who was prepared, were able to help a whole lot of other people who weren't prepared. And build up community, and build up lives, and do it in a positive way. And not do it in such a way that that abdicated anybody's responsibility. You know, there was Jim Wyatt had a sign put up: "Those who will not work will not eat." That's from the Bible. Okay. They posted it in town. Everybody had a job. They weren't slaves, but if they wanted to eat, they did the job. Okay. And if somebody had come along and said, "Well, Jim, I want more money," well, they wouldn't have been taking advantage of him. They'd have been making a deal, and he would have said no. He would have said, "I've got the food, and here's a job you can do." You know, whether it's helping with the cows, or helping in the garden, or in the orchard, or standing guard in the rain, or whatever it is. You do what I need you to do, and we'll take care of you. Okay. But it's a deal, and when there's a deal made that's accepted, that each person accepts, nobody's taking advantage of the other, because each person can say no. All right. I got to get more wood to put on this fire because it's dying down. All right. Y'all have a good day. Remember that we prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.